She walked into the glossy showroom like any other customer, her head held high, her heels clicking against the marble floor. The air smelled of new leather and polished steel. But what she didn't know was that within minutes, the room would fall silent for all the wrong reasons. Every eye turned her way, not out of curiosity, but out of judgment. The salespeople's smiles vanished, replaced by suspicion. They didn't see her confidence, her grace, or her success. They only saw her skin. What happened next would expose everything they thought they could hide, and the following morning, their world would come crashing down. Watch until the end. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Ava Daniels had built her life from the ground up. Born in a small southern town, she worked 3 jobs to put herself through business school. Years of dedication have made her one of the most successful tech entrepreneurs in the state. Now in her mid-30s, Ava finally decided to treat herself to a luxury car, something she had dreamed of since childhood. It wasn't about showing off. It was about celebrating the miles she had walked barefoot to make it here. On a bright Saturday morning, dressed in a simple white blazer and jeans, she drove her modest sedan to a luxury dealership in the city. The glass facade gleamed under the sun, reflecting success, prestige, and power. Inside, rows of pristine vehicles waited, each a symbol of achievement. Ava smiled as she ran her fingers over a silver sedan, picturing herself behind the wheel. She didn't notice the whispers at first, or the way one salesman nudged another with a smirk. To her, it was just another day, another dream within reach. But for them, it was something else entirely. And before she could take her next step, her world, and theirs, was about to collide in a way none of them expected. The manager watched her from his glass office upstairs, his expression unreadable. Ava could feel the shift in the air, the silence that falls before something ugly happens. A young salesman approached her, his tone polite but sharp, as if speaking to someone who didn't belong. He asked questions that didn't feel like customer service. They felt like warnings. Did she have an appointment? Could she afford this car? Did she know the price tag? Each question was laced with disbelief, delivered with the same condescending smile. Ava stayed calm. Years of experience had taught her that anger only gave people more reason to doubt her. She explained she was looking to purchase a car outright. No financing, no trade-ins. That only seemed to make things worse. Soon, the manager descended from his glass perch, his voice louder, colder. Customers glanced over, sensing tension. He told her, this dealership wasn't the place for window shoppers, and asked her to leave. It wasn't the words, it was the way they were said, the dismissal, the public embarrassment, the quiet snickers from the other employees. Ava froze, her mind spinning between disbelief and fury. She could feel the sting of humiliation rising behind her eyes. People were watching, and in that moment, she became the scene everyone whispered about. She left without another word. The heavy glass doors closed behind her like judgment itself. Outside, the sun still shone, but something inside her had dimmed. That night, Ava sat in her apartment overlooking the skyline she helped shape through her company. Her success suddenly felt hollow, fragile, like something that could be stolen with a single act of prejudice. She replayed the moment over and over, the sneers, the arrogance, the laughter that echoed as she walked out. But Ava wasn't just a victim. She was a woman of power, strategy, and quiet strength. She opened her laptop, her hands trembling not with anger but with purpose. She searched for the dealership's ownership details. The name she saw on the corporate filings made her stop cold. She knew it. She owned part of it. Her company had recently acquired the dealership's parent firm as part of a silent investment portfolio. They hadn't just insulted a customer. They had insulted their new boss. By morning, the dealership buzzed with routine. The staff laughed, coffee cups in hand, completely unaware of the storm rolling in. A convoy of sleek black SUVs pulled into the parking lot, followed by a luxury car Ava had ordered overnight, delivered directly from the manufacturer. She stepped out, this time in a tailored suit, her composure razor-sharp. The corporate audit team followed, carrying clipboards and sealed folders. Confusion spread like wildfire as names were called, offices entered, and files reviewed. When the manager recognized her, his face went pale. He tried to speak, but words failed him. Ava met his eyes, a calm, measured stare that spoke louder than any reprimand. The audit revealed more than discrimination. It exposed financial misconduct, falsified sales records, and unethical behavior that had been ignored for years. The parent company moved fast. By noon, termination notices were signed. Every employee involved in the incident was dismissed for both misconduct and violations of workplace ethics. The dealership was temporarily closed, pending restructuring, and a press release soon followed. The same faces that had mocked her were now packing boxes under corporate supervision. For the first time, silence filled the showroom, not the silence of judgment but of realization. They hadn't just underestimated her, they had underestimated what justice looks like in a world still learning equality. In the following weeks, Ava's story spread beyond corporate walls. News outlets picked it up after an anonymous employee leaked the internal memo detailing the firings. The story went viral, not because of revenge, but because it revealed how deeply bias runs, even in places that claim to serve everyone. Ava declined most interviews. She didn't want fame. She wanted awareness. She donated the profits from the dealership's first month after reopening under new management to scholarships for young black entrepreneurs. The dealership itself became a case study in corporate diversity reform, setting policies that ensured such incidents would never happen again. But for Ava, the true victory wasn't in firing staff, it was in changing a system that silently excused their behavior. She knew countless others never got that chance, who faced prejudice and walked away carrying invisible wounds. Sometimes, justice doesn't roar. Sometimes it arrives quietly, with poise, intelligence, and unshakable dignity. Ava drove her new car down the same city streets that had once ignored her, the engine purring like a heartbeat of defiance. She wasn't just driving a luxury car, she was driving change. Her reflection in the mirror wasn't just a reminder of success, but survival. Every mile forward was proof that no amount of hate could stop her momentum. And for those who once laughed, their lesson was clear. Never judge the woman walking through your doors. You might be standing in front of the very person who signs your paycheck. Because sometimes, karma doesn't take years. Sometimes it knocks the next morning. Which country and city are you watching from? Take care.